So, hi friends. Today we will discuss the next topic, no, to the solutions to first order differential equations, which is exact equations, no. So, sabi dito, the differential equations in the form of m of xy dx plus n of xy dy is equal to 0. No, so yun yung ating form ng ating exact equation. But there is a condition, no, where the partial derivative of m xy in respect to y is equal to the partial derivative of n xy in respect to x. And no, kapag ka na-satisfy itong condition na to, yung makukuha natin na value ng psi, no, we're going to introduce the function psi of xy is equal to c. That is the solution to our differential equation. Okay, so game, no? So let us try to solve. So we have here the equation, the differential equation 3x times x minus y x times y minus 2 dx plus x cubed plus 2y dy is equal to 0, no? So let us first determine, no, if the equation is exact, basically. So how are we going to do that? First, let us identify what is mxy and what is nxy, no, so that we can get the partial derivative of the functions in respect to y and x respectively. No, so in this case, no, in this problem, so ano yung ating m of xy or simply m, no, kung nalilito kayo sa representation ng multivariable functions, no, so this one is just simply m, no, yung ating m of xy. Okay, kung ano yung nakakabit kay dx, yun ang ating m of xy, no? And yung nakakabit naman kay dy, no, para at least uniform tayo lahat, yun ang ating n, no? N of xy. So let us get the partial derivative, no? We have our m is equal to, di ko na ilalagay yung xy ha, 3x times xy minus 2. Okay? Tapos simplify ko na lang kasi mas madali nating maaayos yan kapag ka naka-simplify, no? Or naka-distribute. So we have 3x squared y minus 6x. So let us get the partial derivative of this equation in respect to saan? In respect to, yes, y, no? So y ang ating ipa-partial derivative, no? So kung saan siya nakakabit, kabaliktaran, no? Ganun yung ginagamit ko pala tandaan dito. Kung saan siya nakakabit, yun yung kabaliktaran na kukunin mo yung partial derivative. So we will have my, no, m sub y or m partial y is equal to, what is the partial derivative of 3x squared times y? No? Remember, kapag pinag-uusapan natin ang partial derivative, other variables indicated in the expression is not considered as a variable but rather a constant. Now, in this case, yung x squared natin dito is treated as a constant. So, the partial derivative of y or the derivative of y in respect to y is 1. So, we have 3x squared times 1 or simply 3x squared. And the partial derivative of 6x in respect to y is equal to 0. Okay? So, partial derivative ang pinag-uusapan ha, hindi simple derivative lang. Next, no? So, we have n. Now, what's the value of our n? So, by looking at kung ano yung ginroup natin, no? So we have x cubed plus 2y. Then let us get the partial derivative in respect to what naman? In respect to x naman. Kanina kasi nag-partial y na tayo. Dito naman partial x. No? So we have n sub x rather, or n partial x, no, is equal to, so the derivative of x cubed is 3x squared in respect to x. Then the derivative of 2y in respect to x, or the partial derivative of 2y in respect to x, is simply 0. No? So, ano mapapansin natin? No? We have here, since my is equal to nx, then exact. No? Meaning, we can proceed with the solution to exact exact solutions, no? So okay, game, no? So let us solve. So we have, sabi natin, we need to identify what is the y, or what is the psi, no? What is the psi function? Kasi yun yung magiging solution sa ating differential equation. So yung psi function natin, no, actually, kapag kinuha natin yung partial derivative nito, or rather the derivative, not the partial, but rather the derivative in respect to x, no? this will be equivalent to the psi partial x plus psi partial y, or partial y, not z. Sorry. Ayan. So, partial y is multiplied to y prime. Okay. So, where, no, yung ating y prime, or rather, yung ating derivative ng psi, no, yung ating psi prime psi prime xy is actually equal to 0, no? And if we're going to get the antiderivative of psi prime, no, actually, yung ating ito, yung ating solution niya, yung psi of xy is actually equal to c. Okay? So, this is equivalent to 0. Okay? So, yun. Ito yung hanapin natin basically, no? Yung psi xy natin. So, paano natin gagawin yon? So, we need to determine first what is psi x, no? Or simply the partial derivative of psi in respect to x. Okay? So, psi x or psi partial x is defined as the function m of xy. Basically. No? So, we can equate psi x to m of xy, which is, so ano yung nandoon sa given natin, no? Yung, ito, yung ating 3x times xy minus 2, or yung ating 3x squared y minus 6x. No? So, we will have psi x is equal to 3x squared y minus 6x. Ito yon, no? Ayan, ito yon. Okay? Then, let's get the antiderivative, no? In respect to, of course, in respect to x. Kasi, naka-partial x tayo no? So, in respect to x. So, we will have psi, no? Is equal to, what is the antiderivative of 3x squared y in respect to x? So that is simply 3x cubed y over 3. Diba? Hindi natin sinasama si y sa pag-i-integrate or sa pagkuha ng antiderivative. Then we have negative or minus 6x squared over 2. No? Tapos we have plus c. However, guys, no? However, kapag exact solution sa pinag-uusapan natin, we are not adding plus c. Instead, we are adding something that is a function of y. Now, bakit? Kasi remember, guys, originally hindi naman regular expression, no, yung ating psi partial x, it is a partial derivative, no, in respect to x. So, kapag na meron tayong, let's say, a function of y, then we are going to get the partial derivative of that function in respect to x, we will get simply 0. No, kaya f of y yung hahanapin natin, and we are going to get what is the value of this f of y. Okay, so how are we going to do that? No, so simplify muna natin. Huwag natin kalimutan mag-simplify. So we have, sorry. So we will have psi is equal to x cubed y minus 3x squared plus f of y. Okay, next, no? So, kailangan nating mapalabas nga yung value ng f of y. Saan natin kukunin yon? Let's get the partial derivative in respect to y. Okay? So, since kanina kasi, no, naka-partial x na tayo kanina, no? So, let's just get the partial derivative of the psi function in respect to y. So, we will have psi y is equal to x cubed. Okay? So, negative 3x squared, kapag kinuha natin yung derivative in respect to y or partial derivative in respect to y, we will get 0, no? So, plus 0 plus f prime of y. Okay, kasi 'di ba nga we have function of y, pag kinuha natin yung partial derivative in respect to y, we will get, no, yung derivative nun, no, ng ating function, which is f prime of y. So we need to identify what's the value of f prime of y, no? So how are we going to do that? Kung kanina, no, sabi nga natin dito, we have our psi x is equal to m of xy. actually our psi y, no, is equal to n of xy. So we can actually equate the value of psi y with n. No, ano ba yung nakuha nating n kanina? We have here yung 3 x cubed plus 2y, no? So let's equate it. So we have x cubed plus 2y. Okay? Then let us get the value of f prime of y. So since we have x cube on both sides, no, na same sign but on different sides, so makakancel lang yan. So we'll have, yung psi y dito, santabin muna natin yan kasi hindi naman na natin kailangan yan. So we are more after the value of f prime of y is equal to 2y. Okay, so ayun, no, so let's get the value of f of y, no? So let's get the antiderivative. Okay? Saan tayo kukuha ng antiderivative? Kay dy na. No, kasi nanggaling na tayo kay partial y para bumalik siya dun sa psi function natin. No, so partial y. So we will have actually f prime rather f of y is equal to y squared, no? So para siya naging y squared, so that is y 2y squared over 2, cancel yung dalawang 2, so we have y squared. And this f of y is what we are going to what? Of course, wag natin kalimutan yung plus c dito, ilalagay ko na yung plus c, no? So ito yung value ng f of y, yun yung isa-substitute natin dito sa f of y dun sa psi function natin. So we can actually now get the solution to the differential equation. We have psi is equal to, or psi of xy is equal to, we have x cubed y minus 3x squared. Is there y there? None. No, so we have plus y squared plus c. No, so but this is not the the final answer kasi yung psi of xy is just a representation. So we're going to express this as equal to excuse me, is equal to c. So we will have just simply xy minus 3x squared plus y squared plus c is equal to c. Saan nanggaling yon? Saan nanggaling yon? Dito. Nasaan na yun? Ito. No, tanggalin muna natin yung partial para di kayo malito. Rather the derivative, no? Para di kayo malito. Ayan. So, dito natin nakuha yan. So, since we have an arbitrary constant, no? So, asan na tayo? Asan yung mouse ko? Yun. Ayan. Okay, so, balik tayo dito, no? So, since we have two arbitrary constants and kapag pinag-combine natin sila will just yield to another arbitrary constant, so we can actually cancel one, no? One arbitrary constant. So, therefore, our solution to the differential equation is x cubed y minus 3x squared plus y squared is equal to c. No? So, this is the solution to the differential equation. Okay? So, chicken ba? Chicken ba? Ayan, I hope chicken, no? So, madali lang naman to. Basta marunong kayong mag-partial derivative, no? So, ayan. So, again, no, reviewin lang natin what did we do, no, to solve the differential equation. First, we identify what is m and n, basically. Then, let's get the partial derivative of m in respect to y and the partial derivative of n in respect to x. Then, check if they are equal. Kapag equal sila, exact yung ating equation. So, we can proceed. No? So, pwede ko na skip to. So, skip muna natin tong nasa taas. So, we have psi x is equal to m. No? So, equate lang natin psi x is equal to n to m rather, then we get the antiderivative in respect to x, no? So we'll get psi, then we will have a f of y function here. So kailangan natin kunin yung value ng f of y, so hence we're going to get the partial derivative in respect to y naman, no? So ayan, then makukuha natin yung value ng f prime of y, then just get another antiderivative to get the actual value of fy in respect to psi y, no? So kapag nakuha na natin, balik na lang natin yung value ng f of y dun sa nakuha nating psi function. Then we will get the answer, basically. Okay? So, another one. So, we have here the differential equation 2x plus 3 plus 2 quantity of 2y minus 2y prime is equal to 0. So, I'll just redefine the function. So, we have 2x plus 3 dx plus 2y minus 2 dy. Diba? Remember, y prime is equal to dy over dx. No? So, this is equal to 0. So, again, this is our m. M na lang susulat ko, ha? Ayan, and this is our n. So, let's get the partial, no? So, what's the partial derivative of 2x plus 3 in respect to y? No? So, basically, that is, of course, 0, no? So, we have or m na lang muna para mapakita natin yung process. 2x plus 3, then let's get the partial derivative. Then we'll have m sub x is equal to 0 or m partial x is equal to 0. Then we have here our n, no? So we have n is equal to 2y minus 2. Then let's get the partial derivative in respect to x naman, no? Kasi kanina sorry, this is not partial x, this is partial y. Sorry. And this one is partial x. Ito yung partial x natin. Okay, so partial x of 2y minus 2, that is also equal to 0. So ny is equal to 0 or n partial y. So since they are equal, obviously 0 is equal to 0. So, exact. Okay? So that's how we test the exactness of a differential equation. So we can proceed. So we have let us define what is psi x or psi partial x, diba? That's the value of m nga, no? So what is our m? That is 2x plus 3. Okay, so after we have defined, let's get the antiderivative. Saan? In respect to x, obviously, no? So we'll have psi, no? Matatanggal na yung partial natin kasi nag-antiderivative na tayo. We have psi is equal to, we have x squared plus 3x plus, again, no, ano ilalagay natin dito? Is it c or f of y? Okay, so yes, f of y, no, not c, kasi later pa natin gagamitin yung c. We still need to get the value of f of y. Bakit f of y nilagay natin? Kasi nga yung pinanggalingan nating equation is partial x, no, naka-partial x. Okay, so how are we going to proceed, no? So let's get the antiderivative or antiderivative, partial derivative in respect to y. So we'll have psi y is equal to, so itong buong to is wala tayo y function, so that's just simply f of y, no? And again, no, ang ating partial y, pwede isulat pagkasulat nyo ng psi x, pwede nyo na isulat yung psi y para hindi nyo na makalimutan. So we'll have 2y minus 2. So f of y is actually equal to 2y minus 2. Sir, okay lang ba kung walang makakancel? Yes. No, as long as we identify what's the value of f of y, no, so we can get 2y minus 2. So is there a need for us? Okay, is there a need for us to get the or rather, no, this is rather f prime, no? Ayan. So is there a need for us to get the antiderivative? Yes, kasi f prime of y to. So we need to get the antiderivative to get back to f of y, but this time in respect to y na, no? Kasi nanggaling tayo ng partial y, no? That's the reason. Okay, so we'll have f of y is equal to the partial of 2y, rather the antiderivative of 2y is y squared. The antiderivative of negative 2 dy is negative 2y. Okay, so ito ngayon yung ipapalit natin dito. So therefore, we will have psi is equal to x squared plus 3x plus y squared minus 2y. Of course, huwag natin kalimutan yung plus c. Then, actually, no, shortcut, no, this is a shortcut, no, but you need to understand that we are just combining arbitrary constants, no. So, just going to transfer c to the other side. So, we will have our solution, x squared plus 3x plus 2, plus y squared minus 2y is equal to c. No, so this is our solution to the differential equation. Okay? So, dali lang, no? So, kanina kasi kaya parang medyo mahaba, in-explain ko pa kasi step by step. Dito kasi medyo na-shorten na natin yung mga kailangan nating gawin. Okay? So, yon, this is our solution. Okay? So, next, no? So, we have here our third example, no? So, we have the function or the equation, quantity of 2x cubed minus xy squared minus 2y plus 3 dx minus the quantity x squared y plus 2x dy is equal to 0, no? So, let's identify what is m. This is m. And obviously, this is n, no? So, we have m is equal to 2x cubed minus xy squared minus 2y plus 3. Then let us get the partial derivative. In respect to what? In respect to y. No? So, yeah. So, we'll get my or m partial y is equal to, of course, this will become 0. No? Then the partial derivative of negative xy squared in respect to y is negative 2xy, no? So, then the partial derivative of the partial derivative of 2y in respect to y is simply negative 2, no? So, then we have 0, no, plus 0. So, kahit huwag nyo ilagay 0, no, kung ano na kayo, sanay na kayo. So, pwede nyo namang hindi na ilagay. Okay, then we have n is equal to x squared y plus 2x. So, let's get the partial in respect to x naman. So, we'll have nx is equal to 2xy, or rather, negative 2xy. Bakit siya nagkaroon ng negative? Actually, nakalimutan nating ilagay. Or rather, i-include yung negative sign. Ayan. No, so, this one is actually negative. Ayan. Okay, so we have negative 2xy, then we have partial of negative 2x na respect to x, just negative 2. So, mapapansin natin, m sub y or m partial y is equal to n partial x. So, this is exact. No? So, equal silang dalawa. Okay? Lagyan natin. Ayan. No? So, we can proceed. So, we have psi x is equal to 2x cubed minus xy squared minus 2y plus 3. Then let us get the antiderivative in respect to x kasi naka-partial x tayo, no? So, ayan, dx. So, we'll have psi is equal to the antiderivative of 2x cubed is simply 1/2 x to the fourth. No, bakit siya naging 1/2 x to the fourth? Kasi magiging 2x to the fourth over 4. So, 2 over 4 is 1/2. Then we have minus x squared y squared over 2. Then we have negative 2xy plus 3x plus, wag natin kakalimutan yung ating f of y. Kasi yan yung ating kukunin na mamaya, no? Yung value. Okay? So, next, no? So, we'll have, sorry. Ayan. So, we'll have, let's get the partial derivative naman in respect to y. So, we'll have psi y is equal to, this is 0, no? This is 0 minus, so we have here, no, meron tayong y squared. So, magiging, yung y squared magiging 2y. So, lagyan natin dito, no? 2y times x squared over 2. Mamaya natin ka-cancel, no? Para mas maayos. So, we have negative 2x. Ayan. Then, we have this one is 0. Then, plus f prime of y. And we'll cancel this one out. Ayan. So we will have psi y is equal to negative x squared y minus 2x plus f prime of y. Then we will equate this with ano yung value ng ating n, no? So that is negative 2xy or rather not negative 2xy. No, medyo kinabahan ako doon. That is ito, no, yung ating original value ng yung ating original value ng n, no, which is negative x squared y minus 2x. Kinabahan ako ng konti doon. So we have negative x squared y minus 2x. Ayan. So cancel, no? Meron bang kasama si ano? Wala, no? So maka-cancel na lang. Let's use the green one in cancellation and operation. Ayan. So we'll have f prime of y is equal to 0. No, so how are we going to get the value of f of y? No, so of course we're going to get the antiderivative. Okay? And the antiderivative of f prime of y is simply f of y. And the antiderivative of 0 is what? C. No, bakit? Kasi 'di ba, remember, ang derivative ng any constant is equal to 0. So reverse process lang. Okay, so we have f of y is equal to c, so therefore we have saan na tayo? Mabalik na tayo sa psi. No, so we have psi is equal to we have 1/2 x to the 4th minus x squared y squared over 2 minus 2xy plus 3x, okay, plus c. And, no, sabi nga natin, we need to equate the function or the equation or the solution, no, in terms of c. So, we'll have 1/2 x to the 4th minus x squared y squared over 2 minus 2xy plus 3x is equal to C. Is this our final answer? No. No? Bakit hindi? No, we need to simplify yung mga we need to simplify yung mga fractions natin. So, we're going to multiply what? Let us multiply 2, no, to the whole equation. So, we'll have x to the 4th minus x squared y squared minus 4xy plus 6x is equal to still C. Kasi nga, 'di ba, arbitrary constants absorbs the value of other constants, no? So not variables, but rather other constants, no? So this is our final answer. Chicken? Ha? Chicken ba, no? So chicken na chicken, sir, no? So kayang-kaya. Ayan. So next, no? So we have here our fourth example. Sir, maduguin na. May cosine, no? So, katulad ng sabi ko, no, wag kayo kakabahan or wag kayong matatakot kapag nakakita na kayo ng mga trigonometric functions kasi easy lang yan sa atin. No? So, let us identify what is m. Di ko na babasahin na. Kayo na magbasa kung ano yung ating differential equation. So, we have here, this is our m. And this is our n. No? So, let us get the value of m, that is cosine 2y minus 3x squared minus 3x squared y squared. Then, let's get the derivative, partial derivative in respect to y kasi nakakabit siya kay dx. No, so, we'll have m sub x is equal to, what is the derivative of cosine 2y? So, that is 2 or negative 2. Sine 2y. Then we have, since may y squared tayo dito, we will have 2y. So, we have negative 6 x squared y. No? So, yan ang ating m sub x. Now, let's get n. No? So, dito ko lagay, medyo mahaba yung n eh. So, we have n is equal to cosine 2y minus 2x sine 2y minus 2x cubed y. Then, let's get the partial derivative in respect to x. Ayan. Okay, so, game, no? So, we have n, oh, sorry, this is not mx, this is my, sorry. So this is nx, so we have the partial derivative of cosine 2y in respect to x is 0, no? Kasi wala tayong x function, so 0 automatic. Then we have here negative 2 sine 2y. The partial derivative of 2x in respect to x is simply 2, no? So then ito naman, we will have negative 6x squared y, no? So chain rule, x cubed will become 3x squared. So 3x squared times 2y will give us 6x squared y. No, are they equal? Yes, they are equal. So they this one is exact. No, so exact. No, lagay nyo dyan sa solution nyo, exact. No, so we'll have psi x, no, which is equal to, what's the value of m? That is cosine 2y minus 3x squared y squared. Okay, then let's get the antiderivative. No, para psi lang yung ma-retain natin. Okay, in respect to x, of course. No, so we'll have psi is equal to what? So we'll have cosine 2y. No, so kasi wala tayong, or rather x cosine 2y, no. So ayusin natin. So we have x cosine 2y. Then we'll have the antiderivative of negative 3x squared y squared is negative x cubed y squared. Bakit siya naging negative x cubed? Kasi guys, no, remember, yung 3 natin, no? So, kasi magiging ano siya, 3x cubed over 3. So, makakancel yung 3 natin. Kaya yan na lang yung naiiwan. Then, plus f of y. Then, alam natin, no? Kunin natin yung ating partial derivative in respect to y naman, no? To get psi y. So, we'll have psi y is equal to, what's the partial derivative of x cosine 2y? So, that is negative 2x sine 2y. Then we'll have negative 2x cubed y plus f prime of y. Ayan. Okay? Then let's get the antiderivative to get the value of f of x. But rather, before we proceed with the antidifferentiation, no, so let's equate muna. No, what's the value of y, tawag dito, y sa, psi sub y. No, nalilito ako. Ayan, so this is the value of psi sub y, yung ating, eto, yung cosine 2y minus 2x sine 2y minus 2x cubed y. So we'll have this one equal to cosine 2y minus 2x sine 2y minus 2x cubed y. Okay, yan. Then, we can cancel out ito at ito. No? So, therefore, we will have f prime of y is equivalent to cosine 2y, and we're going to get the antiderivative. No? So, the antiderivative, so we'll have f of y is equal to, what's the antiderivative of cosine 2y? What's the antiderivative of cosine 2y? So we will have 1/2, no? 1/2 sine 2y plus c. Okay, so ito yung isa-substitute natin ngayon, no? Pabalik. So we will have psi is equal to, saan ako? Ayan. X cosine 2y minus x cubed, minus x cubed y squared. Okay, plus 1/2 sine 2y plus c. No, so ayan, no? So, we can get the value of c, no? So, we have c is equal to x cos 2y minus x cubed y squared plus 1/2 sine 2y. Okay, then since we have 1/2 here, no, let's just multiply the whole equation to 2 para ma-cancel to. So we will have c is equal to, remember, arbitrary constant, so absorb nyo lang yung 2. So we have 2x cosine 2y minus 2x cubed y squared plus sine 2. Okay, and this is our, yes, this is our answer. Okay, so I hope everything is clear, no, in how we solve exact differential equations. Okay, so yan. Next, no, last example. So we have here, zoom ko lang, sorry. Yan. So we have y cosine x plus 2xe raised to y plus quantity of sine x plus x squared ey minus 1 times y prime is equal to 0. No? So we have, rewrite lang natin. So this whole one is multiplied to dx kasi y prime is on the other side or on the other term. Ayan. No, so game. So let's identify what's m. Obviously this is m and this is n. No, so we have m is equal to y cosine x plus 2x ey raised to y. Then we're going to get the partial derivative, no, in respect to y. So we'll have m sub x or mx is equal to cosine x plus 2x e raised to y. Walang mangyayari, no, kasi e raised to y is e raised to y lang. Okay? Then we have n is equal to sine x plus x squared e raised to y minus 1. Then let's get the partial derivative in respect to x. Ayan. So we'll have ny is equal to cosine x plus 2x e raised to y. So the derivative of 1 is 0. So yan lang yung ano natin. Okay, so equal naman sila. So this one is exact. Exacto, no? So game, no? So we have psi sub x is equal to the value of m itself, no? So we have y cos x plus 2x e raised to y. Guys, hindi sa partial x naka-equal ha, sa m mismo, hindi sa m partial x. Ayan, so let's get the antiderivative in respect to x kasi naka-partial x to. So we'll have psi is equal to we have y sine x, no? So plus, this is plus x squared e raised to y. Okay? Ayan. Then, plus, of course, we have our f of y. No? Ayan, huwag nyo kakalimutan yung f of y. Then, let's get the partial derivative in respect to y. So, we will have psi y is equal to, so, this will just be sine x alone plus x squared e raised to y, walang mangyayari, no? Plus f prime of y. No, tapos equate na lang natin what is the value of n, no? So we have sine x plus x squared e raised to y minus 1. So we have sine x plus x squared e raised to y minus 1. Tapos obviously makakancel yung same signs on opposing sides. So therefore y prime of y is equal to negative 1. So we have y prime f prime of y is equal to negative 1. And if we're going to get the antiderivative, no, in respect to y, kasi galing tayo kay partial y, so we'll have f of y is actually equal to negative y plus c. Okay, so yan yung ating value na f of y. So, substitute na lang natin pabalik sa ating psi function. No? So, we have psi is equal to y sine x plus x squared e raised to y minus y plus c. So, we have here, no? So, we'll have y sine x plus x squared e raised to y minus y is equal to c. This is our solution or the general solution to the differential equation. So if you're going to be asked, no, to identify what is the particular solution, you need the initial value or the boundary value of the given differential equation. Then substitute nyo lang yung values ng x and y. You will get the arbitrary constant, the value of c. Then substitute it back to the general solution. You will get the particular solution. Okay, so that's it, no? So, I hope you guys learned something. By the way, no, kung mapapansin nyo, sir, bakit yung mga naunang example natin, almost everything is equated to y. Ito kasi guys, implicit functions to, no? So, y would be hard, no? For example, katulad nito example na to, no? May y tayo, yes, na naka-isolate yung y sin x at negative y. However, meron pa tayong e raised to y. And it would be a headache kapag kinuha pa natin yung value ng y dun sa e raised to y. Mag-natural logarithm pa tayo. So, mas lalo lang magiging complicated yung ating equation. No? So, this would do in exact equations, no? So, but however, kapag kaya namang i-express in terms of y, express nyo na in terms of y. Okay? So, yun, no? So, thank you for listening. I hope you guys learned something. Okay? Stay safe and God bless. Next lesson, we will be discussing integrating factors, no? Solution to differential equations using integrating factors.